Hello, welcome back. Let's take a look at Lesson 4, Plotting Earthquakes. In this lesson, students will use data from many earthquakes to look for patterns of seismic activity on the planet. So in addition to patterns, this also is a great place to bring in your cost-cutting concept of scale, proportion, and quantity because we're now looking at a much bigger picture than we were looking at in the previous lessons. So you can begin with our engage. We've stuck this information about Alabama in to bring it home to students to start talking about patterns. And in Inquiry 4.1, students will be given data from 10 earthquakes, and they're going to plot that data in two different ways. One, they will actually use a vis-a-vis pen to put marks on a pre-printed transparency. And they will also use stickers to mark those same 10 earthquake epicenters on their map that they've been using in this unit, their world map that they've been using in this unit. And we don't use transparencies very much in the classroom anymore. If you have an overhead projector hanging around, that's great. If you don't, then you can project these images on a opaque projector, or we've included the images. Excuse me for that. We've included the images on the slides as well. So that data is in your book, and you'll want to maybe make copies of that and either cut it up or highlight the 10 pieces of data or the 10 earthquakes that each group will plot. You'll also want to give them a few minutes to talk about what this column means, the depth of the epicenter and the magnitude on the Richter scale. There's a reading about intensity and magnitude at the beginning of this lesson. So each group will plot 10 activities, and then they will go on to compare their data with the class's data. So they'll be putting all that together to show some real big picture. Again, if you plot all of that data, you end up with something like this. Students will see these seismic belts around the world. And you have some even more data that you can overlay. And students begin to see that the seismic activity occurs along plate boundaries. And we close this up with an elaborate activity where students go to the website, the U.S. Geological Survey, and they also read a reading from the book that ties this in. And we try again to bring it back home to Alabama and the question of why Alabama has earthquakes when it's not on a plate boundary. And students will look that information up on their own. So lesson 4 is pretty straightforward. The only tricky part is the use of that antiquated piece of machinery, the overhead projector. We hope you enjoy this lesson and look forward to hearing about it from you. Thanks for watching.